They are racist during the coronavirus. Fox News will be racist after the coronavirus. So there is nothing new here. I think the difference is they are all in on being state TV for Donald Trump. Right. And so they will continue to give them misinformation.
Did you just hear that? The incoming press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, she called Fox racist. And that's a scandal. How do I know that? I know that because everyone's saying it is. Like media has this clip emerges of incoming White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre telling Joy Reid Fox News is racist, and thus the insanity began. People were like going through her Twitter to find things that we're supposed to have a problem with. She labeled Fox racist. That is the most base level. There are single-celled organisms that have a strong suspicion that Fox is based on racism. Like that is not a shocking thing. But what about this? So she said Fox News was racist before coronavirus. They're during it. They're gonna be doing it after it. And she's speaking specifically, by the way, about the using terminology like China virus and Kung flu and stuff like that, which not only did people on the right say, but they doubled and tripled down on. They delighted in using that sort of intentionally, specifically racist language. The fact that Karine Jean-Pierre can identify that, that's the base level. You have a functioning brain that she can identify that. But they think that maybe this is gonna stop her from getting the position, Yaz. I don't think that that's gonna work. What do you think?
Yeah, she's like a nightmare for the right, isn't she? She's a member of the LGBTQ community. She's a Black woman. She's everything that terrifies all these people over at Fox News. And it's funny because you mentioned that it's the most obvious thing to say that Fox News is racist, but it's not for their viewers, right? So many of their viewers are more affluent, elite, even, white Americans, white Republicans, right? They don't think of themselves as racist, right? Whenever they think of racist, they think of these, people in white hoods burning, crosses on people's lawns. They don't see themselves, they don't self-identify with the racism. And also, Fox News, the way that they do racism on their channel, they never say we hate Black people, we hate brown people, we hate this group or that group. They say, oh, look at this over here. What do you think about that? That's pretty crazy how all these like Black and brown people are in the street over who knows what, over Black Lives Matter, for example. So they are very subtle, very is subjective there, but they are subtle in the way that they put forth their racist ideas and their racist agendas to the point where their viewers don't even realize that they're actively being indoctrinated with these racist ideals. So yeah, they're gonna fight against it because she's saying out loud the thing that they have really, really tried not to say out loud for decades.
Yeah, and we are not having a debate about whether they're racist. We are years past that.
Yeah.
Like when New York Times, again, years too late, does their big analysis. Tucker Carlson's a racist, shocker. And then he takes like the front page and goes, look, they said I'm a racist. And they profiled all of like the people who wrote my monologues who've been like spread, like literally like using racist slurs and stuff online. Isn't it funny? I'm really worried about it, aren't I? So no, you don't get to pretend like shock and awe that you would dare call us racist. You guys think it's a joke. You think it's a joke. That's how you make your money. That is how you draw your audience. She can identify that. And I went looking at all these different articles, digging through history and everything. She has said stuff in response to the 2016 election. She thinks it was stolen. She used the hashtag unprecedented. She called Trump a deplorable, illegitimate president. Okay, I mean, look, he's illegitimate to me in that I think that the Electoral College shouldn't exist. I think the will of the people should be what determines the president. I don't know what context she's using it in. How about this? She will come in believing some of these things, which some might believe are a little bit conspiratorial, and she will end up being the sort of press secretary that we expect. She's not gonna be like a fire-breathing leftist or anything like that. She's going to say whatever the Biden administration needs them to say. We had Sarah Huckabee Sanders, we had Kayleigh McEnany, we had Jen Psaki up to this point. Like, who has high standards for what these people actually believe or what they said before getting the position or why they chose to get the position? In many cases, probably to get an MSNBC show. She was already going on their air. I'm talking about Karine Jean-Pierre in this case. She's probably gonna end up getting a show too. So let's just not be shocked when that happens. These people are being chosen for specific reasons and they're not the ones that we might prefer. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, the idea that this person is going to come in and bring whatever ideas she has into this position is also a little interesting, because they're hired to be the mouthpiece for the administration, for the president, right? So whatever she's saying, however she's choosing to verbalize it, she's speaking on behalf of the presidency, right? And then on top of that, I am just kind of over just being nice to the right and being nice to these Trump supporters and pretending like they have a legitimate discourse and that their ideas are legitimate and should be treated with legitimacy. They shouldn't. We need to call them out for what they are. They're conspiracy theories. They're unfounded. They're untrue. They're unproven. And they're ridiculous. And why is it controversial to just say that? I feel like before we used to be able to say, that sounds crazy to me, and done, right? And now it's like, oh, we have to respect people's beliefs. No, we don't have to. If those are the beliefs, we don't have to respect them. And a lot of us don't. Most of us, I would say, do not respect them. So we'll see what happens.
100%. And no one on the right is ever like pressed seriously by the media to like respect the other side or try to work with them. They're very clear that they're not interested, but it's always gonna be on us to do that. I agree with Yaz. Let's just start ignoring that.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.